Just have to wait for the stream to pop up. And then we can finally get this thing underway. We'll get on the main account as well, see if we can't find that. There it is there. Channel. There's Pacific Tier 2, so Pacific Tier 1 is loading up. Just gotta quickly do something. That one. All the telemetry, lap data, track map up. Also better change that to kilometers an hour. Did a race earlier today for an American league. Always nice to change it to miles an hour for them. There we are. And I'll just quickly do this. Right. So we should be all set. I'll just quickly find the stream. It shouldn't be too far away, hopefully. Stream's definitely up. Just can't seem to find. There it is there. So, stream's up, chat's up, hello banana. And we all good to go. Well, hello everyone and welcome to round 13 of the PlayStation, 14 of the PlayStation Pacific Series Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we're racing at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for the Mexican Grand Prix. Located within the national city of Mexico, Hermanos Rodriguez is a 4.3 kilometer, 17 turn circuit that was created in 1959. It's a demanding circuit and has quite a lot of stuff to deal with over a relatively short lap. You have the long straights with DRS zones that lead into turns 1, 4 and 12. These sections provide the best overtaking spots on the circuit. And ideally, you'd like the car to have low wings to be as fast as possible on the straights. But then, the middle sector brings about probably the most difficult S section on the whole Formula 1 calendar, except for maybe either Jeddah or COTA. Its high speed, low grip and auto spin curves are dotted throughout. There is no margin for error here. Ideally, you want tall wings to provide more downforce to carry increased speed through the bends. So drivers will need to try and find a balance between raw straight line speed and corner speed through their car's setup. Finally, to cap it all off, in the final sector there's a tight, technical and personally infuriating arena section that's created drama and stewards reports every time we do a safety car restart here in Mexico City. Hopefully we don't see any of that tonight. But, before we fully focus on this qualifying session, there is a little bit of news to go through first from last week's race. Now, obviously, if you were paying attention last week, G-Force Crichton and Mercedes-Benz wrapped up both championships in Imola. So there's nothing to fight for. Well, you can't fight for first place, but there is a fight for second in the Drivers' Championship. Spilly is currently second on 229 points, followed by F1 Wogboy on 195, 34 points separating those two in the championship. Meanwhile, Crichton, our championship winner, is on 296 points, 67 clear of Spilly. He is now untouchable. Behind Wogboy, we have G-Force Ford, who is also on 195 points. So it's a tight fight for those three places. Plebs is P5 on 146 and completing 176, I should say. And completing the top 10, we have Fiery Hour, followed by Karma, Leo, Scotty, and then Chip in the Red Bull. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes have wrapped it up. They're on 464 points, followed by McLaren on 296. Aston Martin are third on 285, so it's a tight fight between McLaren and Aston Martin. Williams are still in the fight on 240 points and fourth. Ferrari are fifth on 235, so they're also in the fight. Yellow flags out and about in the first sector. Nothing major going on at the moment. Completing the Constructors' table, we have Alfa Romeo, followed by Alpine, Red Bull, Haas, and AlphaTauri at the bottom of the order. So that's pretty much all the news out of the way. We can now fully focus on this qualifying session. And I imagine it's going to be a fairly tight qualifying session. Mexico, it's a relatively short lap. You can see the times on the board. 1 minute 15s, 1 minute 16s. Currently, Grimmy is on pole position with a 1 minute 15.1. As Gilles beats him by a tenth of a second, a bit under a tenth of a second, to set a 1 minute 15.027. And Spilly, he's backed out of his lap, invalidating at some point. As G4 Zach goes to the top with a 1 minute 14.7. F1 Ferrari Pro in a Mercedes-Benz crosses the line to go fourth quickest with a 1 minute 15.106. He is 0.02 of a second off Grimmy in P3. As Wogboy comes out of turn 11, heading down towards turn 12. He's on the medium compound tyre. I imagine a few drivers would like to qualify on the mediums. With only 14 cars tonight, it's a relatively short, relatively small field. Not nice to see, but at least we have a field. That's the main thing. Wogboy goes fifth quickest with a 1 minute 15.760. Spilly's invalidated another lap, so he's on a proper flyer. Karma is relatively low on battery. He's got 30-odd%. So he was on a flying lap. He's having another go now, exiting turn 3, heading down the straightaway towards turn 4. It's not a bad overtaking spot, turn 4, but we'll see the majority of overtaking done into turn 1. It's definitely the most popular spot on the racetrack. Now heading around the hairpin of turn 6. Crichton here appears to have backed off out of his flying lap as well. Karma now making his way into the notorious high-speed S section, and he's invalidated at turn 8. Very easy to do there. Just running a little bit wide at the exit of turn 7, having to cut a lot of turn 8, and as a result, he's got an invalidated lap. Crichton goes back into the pit lane. 40's on an outlap on the soft tyre. Roscoe, he's on an outlap as well on the medium compound tyre. He's getting ready to set a flyer. In fact, we might ride on board with Roscoe, give you a guided tour of this 4.3 kilometre racetrack. I agree, Spilling. We'll definitely see the two-stop strategy tonight, which is why we're seeing a few drivers trying to set times on the medium compound tyre. As Roscoe sets off on his flying lap, he'll open DRS down the main straightaway as he heads down towards turn 1. He's reaching over 320 kilometres an hour, 323, 324, 326 kilometres an hour into turn 1, around the chicane of turns 2 and 3, exiting in fourth gear, using a little bit of the outside curve. He opens DRS, heading down towards turn 4, shifts it up into top gear. He'll be braking at the 100 board, brings it down to fourth gear, then down to third, now into turn 5, second gear, shock shifting to third, using all the curb width on the outside there of turn 5, around turn 6, clobbering the inside curb there at that second apex at the hairpin. Around turn 7, then turn 8, into 9. Now into the fast right-left of 10 and 11. He'll open DRS as he heads down towards turn 12. He'll enter in at 316 kilometers an hour, brings it down to 150. At the apex, sliding at the exit of turn 12, around the hairpin of turn 13, into 14 and 15. Coming out of the arena, he's actually backed out of the lap, and it looks like he's going to go back into the pit lane. So a bit of a scruffy end to the lap there for Roscoe, and 40's just invalidated his lap, so he's backed out of it. Leo on a flyer, coming out of the first sector. He's now beginning the middle sector. Up towards the hairpin of turn 6, second gear, back on the power, short shifting to third, using all of the curb on the outside of turn 6, into 7, 8, and he's invalidated at turn 8. So a few drivers getting caught out by the track limits here in Mexico. Not really surprising. There are plenty of areas where you can get track limit warnings. Almost every corner here, you have the possibility of getting a track limits warning. Bags Liddell making his way through the first sector, exiting turn 3, as Grimmy jumps up to P2 with a 1 minute 14.925. He's the second car in the 14s. Bags is up by almost 3/10 to the first sector, around turn 5, heading towards turn 6. Brings it down to second gear, back on the power, short shifting to third. Yellow flags about, that is Spilly slowing down and getting out of the way. Into the S section, 7, 8, now into 9! 9 awkwardly, but he gets through unscathed. Could have turned really nasty there for Bags Liddell if he lost control of the car, but he didn't. And he's up by 6/10 to the middle sector, so he is going to find time. It's not as much as he would have hoped. Yeah, Ferrari Pro in a Mercedes is a bit odd, KD. It is. It's very odd. As Bags crosses the line to improve by 1.1 seconds to go 5th fastest. He's got way more time. We all saw that mistake he made at turn 8. So he's definitely got plenty of time up his sleeve. Leo is a weirdo, making his way into the arena section, heading towards turn 13. Brings it down to 3rd gear. Keeps it in 3rd for 13. Through 14 and 15. Heading out of the arena now around turn 16, the beginning of Peraltada. Now around turn 17, and he's actually gone back into the pits. He floors it into pit lane. Obviously furious with himself about something. As Karma jumps up to pole position with a 1 minute 14.375. Players making his way out to turn 3 sideways as he heads up towards the first sector split. It won't be the tidiest first sector Players has ever done here at Mexico. He's done a 28.6 to the first sector. Spilly apparently purple to the first sector. He's on the soft compound tyre as he exits turn 6, heading down towards the S section. Going to the left-hander of turn 7, now the right of turn 8, then the left again of turn 9. Into 10 and 11. Keeping it pinned, relatively pinned anyway. Oh, the car rotating very nicely through that S section. 40 getting out of the way. So is G4 Zach. Running too wide at the entry to turn 12 there. Was too greedy with the left-hand side of the racetrack. And the game came down on him hard, invalidating his flying lap. But he's going to have another go. Set a 14.2. He would have jumped up to pole position. Plevs, 7th quickest with a 15.5. He's done the exact same time as Bags Liddell. Look at that. 1 minute 15.575. The pair of them. How about that? Crichton making his way into the middle sector. The highest speed S section through 7, 8, into 9. Heading towards the fast right-left of 10 and 11. Small lift there at 11, but keeps it well within the white lines. Up towards the middle sector split. He does a 55.4 to the middle sector. Around turn 12, heading up towards turn 13. Brings it down to 3rd gear. Keeps it in 3rd around the hairpin. Through 14, 15, into 16 now. 1 corner remains, turn 17. He'll be nice and narrow here on the exit, using all the curb on the inside, and he jumps up to pole position with a 1 minute 14.174. He's currently 2/10 clear of Karma in the McLaren. Now Spilly, not sure what his game plan is here. While he's cutting the track is what he's doing. I'm guessing then he's going to go back into the pits. That's precisely what he's doing. Roscoe Arm isn't on a flyer. G4 Zach is even to the middle sector, but he's going to go back into the pits. So everyone is either in the pit lane or they're out on track ready to go back into the pits. Unfortunately, with it being a relatively short lap, everybody has the opportunity to set one more flying lap in this quali session. Currently 3 drivers still yet to set a time. Spelly, Leo is a weirdo, and G-Force Ford. All of them yet to set times. Can anybody challenge this man for pole? Closest man so far is Karma, but Karma himself is 3.5 tenths clear of the next car, which is G-Force Zach in the Alfa Romeo. Couple of cars going out. That's Leo is a weirdo, and a Mercedes-Benz. That would be F1 Ferrari Pro, because the other one coming into the pits. So we've got a couple of drivers out on track now, doing an out lap, preparation lap, to get the tyres and brakes up to temperature. See, they're revving the car as well. He's trying to use as much fuel as possible over this out lap. Try and reduce the weight of the car as much as possible. Try and maximise the lap time when he sets a flying lap. We now got Spelly out on track. He's heading up towards turn 1. The other drivers are still in the pit lane, waiting for the clock to count down. Hopefully no one impedes either Leo or F1 Ferrari Pro by exiting the pits at an awkward time. These two hopefully shouldn't get impeded. Leo is making his way through the arena. He'll switch on the hot lap battery mode and he'll set off on his flying lap. A nice wide approach around the final corner to try and carry as much speed as possible down this main straightaway. Now we saw speeds of up and over 225 kilometers an hour here. Leo's a bit under that. 323 into turn 1. Through turns 2 and 3 now. Exiting in 4th gear and sideways. He'll open DRS and head down the straightaway towards the first sector split. And he does a 28.3 to the first sector. Ferrari Pro is also arriving up to the first sector split. He's done a 28.5. He's down to the first sector. He might try and back off. Try and do another flying lap. It looks like he's still trying to push. And Leo's backed off as well. Moved out of the way. Let Ferrari Pro through. Oh, and spinning is Spilly. That's at turn 3. Has to do a bit of lawn mowing to get himself out of the way. Nicely done. He rejoins in a safe manner. That's unfortunate there for the man who is currently second in the Drivers' Championship. There goes a Alfa Romeo. I believe that's Hillers. Nope, it's G-Force Zach going by. F1 Ferrari Pro improving by 3/10. Goes third quickest with a 1 minute 14.6. And we noticed as well, he lost a 10th to the first sector, so there's definitely time for Ferrari Pro to find. That's for sure. Hillers has invalidated his flying lap, so he's going to back off. Have another go soon. G-Force Ford setting off on a flying lap. There's a Red Bull exiting the pits. I think that's Banana Cake Pie. It is. Well, he hasn't given himself enough time to set another lap, so his qualifying is over. He was supposed to be doing Pacific Tier 2, but I believe he's had connection issues. He dropped out of the lobby and was unable to get back into his old one. The game just wouldn't allow him, so he's here doing Tier 1. 40 to the first sector, does a 28.3. That's about right compared to other drivers through their first sector. Crichton making his way through the first sector. Coming out to turn 3. Tidy exit, using all of the racetrack. Heading up towards the first sector split. The clock says he's done a 28.2. He's up by just over half a 10th. Beginning a flying lap. 40 coming towards the end of 1. He only has 1 sector to get through. Into the arena. Brings it down to 2nd gear. Gets the car rotated through turns 14 and 15. Around turn 16. Short shifting on the exit. Shaw sliding out of the corner. Comes up to the line. Jumps up to pole position. With a 1 minute 14.167. And his major challenger Crichton has crashed out of qualifying. I think. Oh, he's retired. Spilly's backwards. Bags Liddell is out. He has just crashed. There he is there. No, Crichton retired from the session. So 40's got pole by a whisker. Can anybody challenge him? Ferrari Pro making his way through the middle sector as I speak. Using all of the racetrack as he heads up towards the middle sector split. The clock says he's up by just under a 10th and a half. He needs to find about half a second in the final sector to challenge for pole. Karma crosses the line, stays third quickest with a 1 minute 14.232, missing out on pole by 7/100ths of a second. Jumping up, it's G-Force Zach, I believe, to 4th with a 1 minute 14.5. Ferrari Pro crosses the line, takes 4th back with a 1 minute 14.557, beating G-Force Zach by 9/1000ths of a second. Well, there we go. As Leo goes back into the pits, 40 will start on pole position by a very slim margin of 7/1000ths of a second. With Crichton's retirement at the end of the session, he was not able to improve on his previous best, and as a result, his old rival Ford will start in front of him. I don't know, credit to 40 pulling out that lap right at the end of qualifying. Mega effort. Driver of the day, Spilly, that's it. Got to set yourself those sort of goals, try and achieve them. Got to make the best of a not too great situation. So, the results from qualifying. We got Ford on pole, followed by Crichton, then Karma. Ferrari Pro, then G4 Zach completes the top 5. Roscoe on P6, followed by Grimmy, Hilles, Bags Liddell. Plevs rounds out the top 10. He'll be starting on the mediums too. P11 is Wogboy, followed by Banana Cake Pie. Leo is 13th. And Spilly will be starting from the back after a horrendous qualifying. But, the silver lining is that you get a free choice of tyre, and it's anywhere but up for you, Spilly. Can't go down. So. Well, Spilly said it, folks, in the chat. He's aiming for a podium. No pressure, then. Best of luck. You can see as well, we got a bit of cloud cover, but I don't think we'll be seeing any rain over the course. Well, I hope we don't see any rain. Rain just ruins things 9 times out of 10. But on that 1 time out of 10, when rain comes around, it brings about some of the most interesting racing that you can see. Rain does have that possibility, but 9 times out of 10, it usually dulls the racing. Session counter counting down. Drivers will be fine-tuning their setups, getting their fuel loads on point, getting their strategies on point as well. I imagine all of them will do a 2-stop strategy, either soft, medium, soft, or medium, soft, soft. I don't think you want to leave mediums till last. You really don't want to do that. The medium tyre, compared to the soft tyre, isn't particularly amazing. Look at the heat haze coming off the road there. I never really noticed that before. That's quite nice to look at, actually. Anyway, driver's setting off. We'll see who's starting on what tyre, and what do you know? Everyone outside the top 10 starting on the mediums. So the top 9 are starting on the soft tyres from qualifying. Plevs, starting 10th, is also starting on the tyres he used in qualifying. They're a set of medium compound tyres. Walkboy P11 starting on the medium, same with Banana Cake Pie and Leo and Spilly, all of them on the medium tyre. So we've got 5 on the mediums, 9 on the softs. Fairly even split. 40's well in front. My goodness, he's driven away. Disappeared up the road. You know, we got a fairly healthy split in terms of tyre compounds. Yeah, no. Avoid hard tyre. Hard tyre, no. Hard tyre just doesn't really provide you with anything here in Mexico. Just a tyre you avoid. Soft tyre is just ridiculously fast here. Alright, drivers are now making their way through the final sector. Final opportunity to get temperature into their tyres and into their brakes. We can get this race underway. Leaders are now making their way back onto the main straightaway, and there's the predicted pit stop strategy. So pit window for the soft runners, lap 10 to 11. Couldn't quite catch what the medium pit stop window is. But ideally, you want to try and split the race into thirds. So 3 12-lap stints is probably the best way to go about it. Of course, if we have any safety cars, that will definitely shake things up in terms of strategy. So you got to be on your toes, for sure, especially around a racetrack like this. But there's so many areas of the racetrack where you can fall foul and potentially retire out of the race. But here we go. We got 36 laps in front of us and 10 red lights, and we are underway here in Mexico. It's a nice start from Ford. He gets in front of Crichton. He weaves to the inside to try and cover Crichton off. Down towards turn 1 we go. Crichton and Karma almost side by side. Zach and Ferrari Pro side by side too. Into turn 1 we go. Crichton trying to send it. Can't get it done into turn 1. 2 by 2 goes the rest of the field. Through turns 2. Into turn 3. Midfield trying to sort themselves out. They get through unscathed. Ferrari Pro trying to get in front of G-Force Zach. G-Force Zach trying to do the same. Into turn 4 we go. Zach has the inside line. Diving is Gilles in the other Alfa Romeo. Around turn 5 we go, heading up towards turn 6. And now turn single files. Plebs goes sideways at the exit of turn 5. Around turn 6 we go. Spilly and Bags change places. Spilly up to 9th already. He's made up 5 places over the course of 6 corners. Oh, running wide is Grimmy. Oh, that's an awkward rejoin. He's just suddenly ghosted there. No, he drops down to last place now. Bags got company. Here goes Leo down the inside into turn 12. Side by side, Leo gets in front. Wogboy now joins the party in P11 into the hairpin of turn 13. Through the chicane of 14 and 15. Wogboy hounding the back of Bags Liddell, unable to find a way by just yet. And at the end of the first lap, 40 leads, followed by Crichton. Karma is third as Grimmy goes into the pit lane. So he obviously got damage on the first lap. Roscoe Arm has overtaken Wogboy. Crichton tries to look down the inside, can't get it done again at turn 1. Karma is third. G4 Sack is fourth, followed by Ferrari Pro. That's the top 5. Gilles P6, he is 1.4 seconds behind Ferrari Pro in 5th place. Got a lot of catching up to do. Plebs in 7th, Spilly in 8th. Easily the biggest winner from the start. Made up 6 spots over this opening lap. Leo behind him has made up 4. Plebs in front has made up 3 spots. Hillers has made up 2. Biggest losers, Roscoe Arm, he's down 5, and Grimmy. After getting damage on the first lap, he's now down in last place, losing 7 places from the race start. Now, what are the leaders up to? Crichton hunting away at G-Force Ford, coming out to the arena section. And turn 16. Oh, the back end stepping out on the Mercedes-Benz as he desperately gets on the power. DRS will now be enabled as it's lap 3 of 36. Crichton close the gap. He's not even using any battery, well, not any overtake anyway. Try and close the gap. Into turn 1. Oh, he closes up a lot. Into turn 2. I thought he was going to send it there. 40 had a horrendous run through the opening complex. Lost a whole heap of time, and Crichton had the opportunity to try and get by, but probably wisely backed out of it and stayed behind Ford. It could have been quite nasty if the two collided. Around the hairpin of turn 6, heading down towards the S section. Crichton on the back of Ford. Through turn 7, 8, up towards turn 9. Then into the fast right-left of 10 and 11. He'll open DRS and close the gap. Karma will have DRS as well. Crichton weaving, trying to throw off Ford. Ford will more than likely remain unfazed about that. Into the hairpin. Crichton trying to shove his nose down the inside, trying to be intimidating to G-Force Ford. As he heads around the penultimate corner, now around the final corner, turn 17. The gap is half a second between the top 2, and that's going to shrink quite considerably thanks to DRS. Look at this. There is nothing Ford can do in this situation. Down the inside into turn 1. That's without battery as well. 40, you'll be stuck behind Crichton through this complex. He's right on the back of the Mercedes. But he's going to lose time because he doesn't have any DRS to try and attack the Mercedes-Benz of G-Force Crichton. Around turn 4. Into turn 5. Roscoe has overtaken Bags Liddell. That was for 10th. Grimmy has set fastest lap with a 1 minute 18.0. Down towards the S section, 40 is applying a lot of pressure here. He's looking to the inside at turn 7. They're side by side through turn 8. Into turn 9. Crichton gets back in front. 40 right behind, trying to find a way by. He'll open DRS, he'll draw alongside, he'll get the nose in front, and he gets probably in front of Crichton, who just lets him through. Now Karma's in there, same with G-Force Zach and F1 Ferrari Pro. We got a 5-car queue at the front of the field as Spilly gets a 3-second time penalty. The first driver to get one of those in this race. Exiting the final quarter, heading down the main straightaway. It's now lap 5 of 36. Crichton will have DRS and the slipstream. He will overtake Ford here. There's nothing the Williams driver can do about it. Into turn 1. Again, overshooting turn 1 just a little bit. It's an awkward run through turns 2 and 3. Spilly has overtaken Hillers as well. That was for P7. Down towards turn 4. Now, Crichton had a horrendous run through this section last lap. This time he's far more tidier. Coming out to the S's now, heading around turns 10 and 11. Oh, using all of the racetrack there. Now heading into turn 12. 40 still right behind, and he's going to do what Crichton did a lap ago, just pass him with DRS. This needs a nice tidy run here out of turn 16 and turn 17. Gets that tidy run. Crichton sets fastest lap. And here comes G-Force Ford. He's not using any battery to try and close the gap. And I don't think he'll overtake Crichton here into turn 1. He'll stay behind. As Leo is a widow, has overtaken Hillers. That was for P8. Hillers can't do too much about that, I'm afraid. Crichton, Ford, battling into turn 1. Ford gets back in front. At turn 1 into turn 4. Battling for P1. Around turn 6, heading towards the S section. 40 drives away, just a little bit. Into the S's. Turn 7, 8, into 9. And 10 and 11. A bit of understeer there for Ford. For Crichton. Into the arena section. And Crichton will more than likely get Ford back down the main straightaway. Just a tit-for-tat battle at the moment between these two. I'm sure Karma, Zach and Ferrari Pro would like to get involved, but they're a bit stuck in the middle of that DRS train. They really can't do much. Crichton closing the gap to Ford. Up towards turn 1, 3 tenths, 2.5 tenths, 2 tenths, 1.5, 1 tenth. Doesn't go for the move into turn 1. Into turns 2 and 3, Spilly has overtaken Plebs now. He's done that at turn 1, so he's into P6. He'll open DRS, Crichton. He'll close the gap to Ford. Not by enough, though, to try and challenge the Williams driver into turn 4. Spilly's now got a bit of clear air in front of him. He has a challenge of trying to close the gap to Ferrari Pro ahead. It won't be easy. He won't have any DRS to help him out. And he is on the medium compound tyre, which I imagine after 7 laps will be pretty even with the softs, maybe a little bit better. This will be the best way to tell between Spilly and Ferrari Pro. And Spilly is just slightly closing the gap. Leaders making their way through the arena once again. Around turn 16. Around turn 17. Crichton will open DRS, but he won't be close enough to attack unless he uses battery, which he is using. Look at the overspeed he's got. Leaves Ford standing and takes the lead back at the beginning of lap 8. What are the chances of Banana spinning out at the S section? Suppose we'll find out. Banana's doing well, down in 13th. And he is a tier 2 driver. So, the fact that he's still here is the main thing. And hopefully he stays out of trouble. And I think he will. He learnt his lesson from Formula Endurance, so... Coming out to the S's. down towards turn 12. Gap is 8 tenths. So 40's lost a little bit of ground, not too much, just a little bit. And Spilly has closed in that little bit more on Ferrari Pro. The gap now 1.8 seconds. Last time I checked it was about 2. So Spilly's got good car speed at the moment. Those medium tyres are starting to phase into. Oh, back end stepping out on Ford's Williams. He heads down the main straightaway. Will he use any battery? No. Just use DRS. Perhaps try and save a little bit of battery. Still closes the gap up by quite a bit thanks to DRS. Through turn 2, then through turn 3. And open DRS again, heading down towards turn 4. 3 tenths behind, 2 tenths stays behind the Mercedes-Benz. So you might try and harvest a bit of battery. G-Force Ford might stay behind Crichton for a little while. Plan his next attack. I think knowing Crichton, he would like to stay in front of the field heading into the first pit stop period, which is going to be in a few laps. Crichton, my goodness, right on the ragged edge, exiting turn 11. This is rather typical though of Crichton, but it's always hair-raising seeing it through a corner like turn 11. So high speed, so demanding. See the car step out like that. It's pretty cool to see. And then even cooler to see Crichton catch it 40 into the pits. So he's blinked. He's going to try and do the undercut. But onto what tyre? It's a set of mediums. So the mediums go on Ford's car. And away he leaves. Bit of a pit lane glitch there. That's all right. He's now down in 13th. He's got clear air. He'll be able to push. Poor Grimmy. Down in 14th. Desperately needs a safety car to try and save his race. You never know with Mexico. Might see one in a few moments. It's entirely possible. Now what does Crichton do in response to Ford pitting in? Does he pit now? Does he stay out? Heading towards the arena section. Karma still has DRS. He's close enough to Crichton to still have DRS. G-Force second, third. He's losing a little bit of touch to Karma. Needs to try and stay within that 1 second range to the McLaren driver. Around turn 16, heading towards turn 17. Crichton stays out for another lap. Karma stays out too. So does G-Force Zach and Ferrari Pro. Yellow flags are out as Gilles has retired from the session, crashing out, I believe. And we have a safety car. Oh, imagine if you pitted in just then and light bags Liddell. There's Gilles. How on earth have you done that? Because his car has ended up in a really awkward spot. See if we can't catch it with Grimmy. We'll more than likely despawn, but we'll see. Around the penultimate turn. There he is there. I think his left-hand side wheel, his left front broke, so he's gone into the outside wall, I think, and somehow bounced back out to the middle of the track. I don't know, that's an odd one. And that's the safety car this man needed as well. He desperately needed it, and he's got it. And he's just got to make use of it, which I'm sure he will. Alright, everyone's pitting, by the way. Everyone's pitting. Even the medium runners, I think, should pit. Get onto the soft tyre, then do 2 stints on them. Do 1 stint on the soft tyre, pit, go on to another set of softs. That's what I meant to say. Crichton, what are you pitting onto? Mediums. What about Ferrari Pro? Looks like a set of mediums too. In fact, I don't think anyone, except for Plebs, he's pitting onto the soft tyre. Spilly onto a set of hards. Same with Leo. So those, a few drivers going to try and one-stop it here. So Spilly, Leo, and Wogboy. I'm going to try and one stop. Silas has left the session. Now these medium runners, I mean, they could try and go to the end of the race on these tyres, or they can go through with the two-stop strategy. In which case, the next pit window will be about lap 24 or so. Maybe a bit later, thanks to the safety car period. Now, I'm a bit surprised to see a few drivers going onto the hard tyres. I thought a lot of people would try and commit to the two-stop, but we've got drivers going to try and attempt the one-stop. Fair play. It's just a matter of how much time will they lose on those tyres. That's the question. Pledge is going to be pretty rapid in P7. Going to try and get by Spilly as soon as possible and have a crack at the top 5. Banana Cake Pie, he's on the soft tyre as well, but he hasn't really been troubling anyone over the course of this race, and I don't think he really wants to try and trouble anyone during this race. He wants to keep out of everyone's way and just make it to the finish. And Grimmy here, he'll just try and make the best of a not too great situation, try and claw his way up the field. Yeah, there's a good shout that a lot of drivers will pick up penalties over the course of the race. And if we have another safety car period, then penalties will play a huge factor on who wins this race. Into the pits goes Spilly. So he's done one lap on the hard tyre. He's going to pit back onto a set of mediums, I guess. Wogboy's doing the same, but he's given himself a 5-second time penalty. Didn't even think of that. So, a couple drivers using this safety car period to get their mandatory pit stop, or mandatory use of 2 different tyre compounds out of the way. So Spilly down in 12th, Wogboy down in 13th. These two have pens. They both have, well, Spilly has 3, Wogboy has 5 after he's sped into pit lane. So everyone's made at least one stop at the moment. You can also see with the position change. Nice and scrambled. Leo's made the most positions out of anyone. From 13th, he's up to 7th. He's got Plebs just in front, and he's on the soft compound tyre, up 4 positions from where he started, from 10th to 6th. Rightio, we should be going back on the green flag racing now, and that's exactly what we're going to have in a few moments' time. 40 will control the field, back everyone up, allow the safety car to go back into the pit lane. This is a section that the drivers really do have to worry about. You don't want to get too close to one another here in this arena section. Really easy to get 5-second penalties for severe collisions just because of how slow everyone goes through the section, but everyone's leaving space, so that's really good to see. Crichton's on the back of Ford, or who begins to floor it, bit sideways at the exit there as Leo has fun and has dropped down to 13th place on the hard tyre. So all that benefit from the safety car coming out for Leo, it's all gone. Into turn 1. The gap is 4/10 between the top 2. Karma P3 still in touch. Needs to try and keep in touch with the top 2. Roscoe Armour 3-second time penalty. G4 second P4 followed by Ferrari Pro and Plebs, who was on the attack. Looking around the outside. Into turn 4, gets it done pretty easily. Ferrari Pro doesn't put up too much of a fight. So Ferrari Pro down to P6. Plebs up to P5. Down towards the S section. We go. Turn 8, turn 9. Into turns 10 and 11. Plebs is fast, very fast through this section. Uses a bit of battery, looking to the inside. Leo gets a 3-second time penalty. And Plebs moves into 4th place, making full use of those soft compound tyres. 40. He's got an 8/10 margin to Crichton. Crichton claws some of that margin back. It is now lap 15 of 36, and Plev sets a new fastest lap. Not too surprising. He looked awfully fast on that lap, even with having to overtake cars on that lap. Banana overtaking Bags down the inside into turn 1. Spilly's done the same to Grimmy, so Spilly into 10th. Into turn 4. Gap is 8/10. All that Crichton needs to do is stay within a second of 40. And he keeps this fight alive at the front of the field. Karma just behind in P3, followed by Plebs. Through the S section we go. Sparks fly as corners are cut. Through turn 10, then 11. Plebs close, not close enough though to attack his teammate. But I'm sure he would like to get by to try and challenge the top 2. Around the hairpin, turn 13, through 14, then 15. And around 16 and 17, the gap is 3/10. As DRS is now enabled on lap 16 of 36. Plebs using a fair bit of battery, so is Karma. Not really sure why. I think Karma would do himself a massive favour trying to let Plebs through. But he hasn't done that. Oh, contact between the two McLaren cars at turn 1. Karma's lost time and he loses more time, losing the back end between turns 2 and 3. The gap is now 1.3 seconds between Karma and Crichton, and Plebs goes through. This is exactly what should have happened at turn 1, but Karma dumped all of his battery down the main straightaway, kept Plebs at bay. I think knowing the tyre situation and considering your teammates, I think it was the best idea to let Plebs through. Try and attack Crichton and Ford. Then try and follow Plebs. Use them as a battering ram to try and get up to P2 and eventually first place. Because Plebs, he's going to be so much quicker on these tyres, even compared to Crichton and Ford. Soft tyres really are that fast. In the second of Crichton, so I think he should get DRS here. 100% certain. Yeah, there we go, he gets DRS. Crichton has it as well. Closing in on GeForce Ford, weaving down the main straightaway. Just telling his buddy, mate, I'm catching up. I'll have a battle soon. In fact, from P1 all the way down to P12, the gap between each car is less than a second. So we got one massive train. And Leo isn't too far behind in 13th either. Into turn 5. Gap's 2.5 tenths. Into the hairpin of turn 6. Crichton working away at the back end of Ford's Williams. Now turn 7. Leo gets a 3-second time penalty. Turn 8. Around turn 9. Plebs keeping up. Bags Liddell getting time penalties. To turn 12. Top 3 starting to bunch up. Karma is now 1.3 seconds behind his teammates. He was unable to keep up with Plebs. So the top 3 really starting to streak away. Out to the final corner. Another Cake Pie has dropped down 4 places. Down to last. Plebs sets a new fastest lap. Here comes Crichton and Plebs down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Crichton, he goes for it, looking down the inside into the opening corner, and he gets it done. 40 can't do much about it. He's now got Plebs right on his gearbox through turns 2 and 3. Can Plebs try and pass Ford into turn 4? I don't think he's close enough. 40 in the slipstream, just trying to keep up with Crichton. He won't be able to attack. Or into turn 4. Then turn 5. You can see Plebs right up 40's trumpet. Exiting turn 6, heading down towards the S's now. The gap is 1.9 seconds between P3 and 4. Around turn 9, towards 10 and 11. Crichton tries to pull away. The gap almost 6 tenths. Plebs on the back of Ford. Can he try and go for a move? He's looking left and right, but he doesn't have the battery to try and launch an attack here. 40 runs wide though, opening up a window of opportunity for Plebs, but he's unable to find a way by. Around the final corner, turn 17. Plebs is in the slipstream. He's going to try and slingshot by the Williams here. Can he do it? Down the inside into turn 1 perhaps. A big send. Will he go for it? No, he stays behind. Zach meanwhile getting by Karma into 4th place. Karma is going to be under a bit of pressure here from F1 Ferrari Pro. He gets a nice exit though out of turn 3. He should remain unchallenged into turn 4. Yep. So Karma stays in 5th. Into the X section go the leaders. Crichton with a half-second margin over GeForce Ford, then Plebs still hunting away in 3rd. It's a 2.5-second margin back to P4, which is currently GeForce Zach, and he's preoccupied with 3 other cars on his turn. Coming out to the arena section, top 3 separated by a second. They head around the final corner. 40, I don't think he's in a position to attack into turn 1. Unless he uses a bit of battery, which he isn't doing. Plebs using the slipstream of the Williams in front. You can see 40 switching off DRS just briefly. For a few moments there. Perhaps enticing Plebs to catch up. Not sure. Through turn 2. Into turn 3. Can Karma attack? I don't think so. I think it's a bit too far back. Trying to attack Zach. Oh, he's right. He stays behind in 5th. Spelly got his teammate for company. Small train here battling for P8. With Grimmy in 10th. Leo in 11th. Then Wogboy and Banana Cake Pie at the back of the train. Crichton still heading the field. 40 still in pursuit. Around the hairpin of turn 13 into 14 and 15. 40 can get a nice exit here. He can try and attack. Or he can continue to stay behind and save up battery. It's up to him. It's now lap 21 of 36 here in Mexico. Awesome camera shot. That's the top 3. Down towards turn 1, 40 closing in. Gap is 1/10. He's looking to the inside into turn 1. Sends it in there side by side. Into turn 2. Can Plebs get involved? Contact between the top 2. And Plebs looking underneath the pair of them. It's trying to get by. It's 3 wide. Down towards turn 4. Plebs takes the lead. Or 40 tries to send it round the outside. Can't get it done though into turn 5. Plebs keeps the lead. Crichton's run wide. Rejoins safely, but he's now down in 3rd. So Plebs playing a more patient role in that battle. 40 and Crichton colliding with one another just a little bit, and it gave Plebs the opportunity to go for the lead. But this battle is certainly not over between these 3. In fact, they held each other up so much, the gap between Crichton and Zach is now 1.6 seconds. Oh, that poor Bollo. Crichton murdered a Bollo. Oh, he almost murdered himself. He lost the back end of that Mercedes coming out of the arena section, but he gathered it up nicely. It's now lap 22 of 36. We have got 15 laps to go. Down towards turn 1. 40 closing the gap. He switches off DRS. Karma overtaking Zach. He's now into 4th. Zach down to 5th. Wogboy, he's overtaken Banana Cake Pie. Ooh, and Leo and Bags are battling. Zach gets a penalty. Coming out of turn 3, Leo's in front of Bags. He's far enough in front, I reckon he'll hang on to P10 for now. Around turn 5, heading towards turn 6. Spilly on the back of this train. He won't be able to do too much here. Just a bit stuck. Roscoe, P7, followed by Ferrari Pro. G4 Zach, and then Karma, who's pulled away a little bit. The gap between him and Crichton, 1.4 seconds. Around the hairpin. Around turn 16, then 17. They're still holding the lead, but for how long? He will need to make another stop. His tyres are 12 laps old. They can't make it. Oh, sorry, they're 10 laps old. Looking down the inside, it's G-Force Ford into turn 1. He's taken back the lead. And Plevs, you really can't do too much about it. He won't have any DRS to help him out, but he does have the raw grip of the soft tyre. But even that's not enough. He has to settle for second for now. Up towards the hairpin of turn 6. Remy has overtaken Leo. That was for 9th. Into the S section. Turn 7. 8. Into 9. Top 3 separated by 7 tenths. And G4 Zach and P4 1.6 seconds behind. Still got Karma for company, and Ferrari Pro and Spilly, who's just given himself a time penalty. 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Around the hairpin. Through 14 and 15. Plevs is in a position to attack. He uses a bit of battery at the exit of the final turn. Keeps it switched on. He'll open DRS. He'll go on the attack. 40 can't do much about it. Plevs takes the lead back on lap 24. We've got 13 laps to go. Tight battle here for 4th. As Leo's overtaken Grimmy, that was for P9. Down towards turn 4. Karma in a bit of trouble with no DRS. Here comes Ferrari Pro. And he takes P5 away from the McLaren driver. Spilly's now right on the back of this too. I'm sure he would like to get involved. Through the S's go the leaders. There's the chasing pack. Yellow flags are out. It's Bags Liddell who was spun at turn 3. As Leo gets a 3-second time penalty. Into the arena. Around the hairpin of turn 13. Top 3 separated by a second. The gap between P3 and 4, 2 seconds. Plev stays out for another lap. Begins lap 25 of 36. 12 to go. 40 is just over half a second behind. He has DRS wide open. He's closing the gap. He's going to go for a move here. Down the inside into turn 1. And retakes the lead. Crichton on the back of this. Just watching along. Unable to do anything at this point. He does have a little bit of battery in reserve. Zach at the front of this queue has got a 3.5 tenth margin to Ferrari Pro. It's enough to hang on to 4th place for now. Karma right behind Spilly. Roscoe Arm. Leo with 2.5 seconds behind Roscoe Arm on those hard tyres. Doing his best. Wogboy, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So quite a few drivers getting in trouble with track limits. It is to be expected. Coming out of the S's towards the arena section. Ferrari Pro closing in. Not close enough though to attack into turn 12. Plevs making his way out of the arena. Around turn 16, Bags Liddell, a 3-second time penalty. And into the pits comes Plevs. For his final stop, he'll go on to another set of softs and go to the end. Up go the jacks, on go the soft tyre, and away he leads. And the competitive nature of Tier 1 has really gone against Plevs, I think. Battle going on between Karma and Spilly. Through turn 3, Karma stays in front. Up towards turn 4. It's a tight battle now between Spilly and Roscoe. They're side by side around turn 4. Roscoe, can he send it? No, is the answer. He stays behind in 7th as Bags Liddell sets a new fastest lap. Into the S's. Ferrari Pro hunting G4 Zach. This battle is now for the final podium place in 3rd. It's now a 2-horse race at the front. 40 on 15 lap old mediums compared to Crichton on 13 lap old mediums. The gap is half a second between these two. They've had quite a few battles. Quite a few of the races we've had here in Pacific Tier 1 for Season 6. Become a very natural thing to see. But the best part about these two battling, it's always competitive and it's always fair, usually. Crichton moves into the lead. And Ferrari Pro moves into 3rd. Spilly and Karma trying to battle into turn 1. Through turn 2, Spilly is close. 2.5 tenths behind the McLaren. I don't think he'd be close enough to attack here. No. Right. Ferrari Pro now has the opportunity to try and pull away from those behind. He's got that clearer air. Can he make the most of it? Zach, he has the important job of trying to keep up with Ferrari Pro as best he can. Try and keep the fight alive. Oh, Ferrari Pro lost the back end there through the S section. He's lost time. Fortunately, though, he's still in the race. And Zach goes through into 3rd. Not a terrible thing to do because he'll get DRS down the main straightaway. G4 Zach won't. So the Alfa Romeo is going to be a bit of a sitting duck down the main straightaway. Now lap 28 of 36. You've got 9 laps to go. Grimmy going into the pits. Getting a 5-second penalty as well. Ferrari Pro into 3rd. Battle for 1st place through turn 2 into turn 3. And the exit, 40 trying to draw alongside. He's got DRS as well. Down the straightaway towards turn 4. 40 gets in front and takes the lead. Crichton, he just has to stay behind the Williams driver for now. Oh, he's trying to look down the inside here at turn 6, being cheeky. Very Crichton thing to do. Through the S's. Now through turns 10 and 11. Ferrari Pro, now he's got a time penalty. 3 seconds next to his name. Leo's got another. See the penalty scenarios there for the drivers still running. Excuse me. Ferrari Pro and Zach, both with 3 seconds. Karma yet to get a penalty. Spilly and Roscoe has 6 seconds. Leo has 12. And Spilly gets by Karma for P5. Here comes Crichton. Down the inside. As Wargboy pits. Crichton takes the lead back. Karma, Spilly battling. Through turns 1, 2, and then turn 3. Gets up into 5th. Karma will try and strike back. Roscoe and Leo are in hot pursuit as well. Half a second between the top two. 40 doing his best to keep up with Crichton. Through the S's. He's lost a little bit of time, but not enough to lose DRS. Karma now gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. So it's a game of penalties for the final podium spot. From P3 all the way down to P8, they're all in a train. And every single one of those drivers has a time penalty. Now Ferrari Pro is just crept within 1 second of Ford. Does he have DRS? Yes. There's the blue light. So he should have DRS, but he's not using it. Or he doesn't have it available to him. Zach closes in, not by enough though to attack. You see the blue dot come up, and you heard the audio cue as well, but he didn't use DRS. There it is again. No DRS. I guess he doesn't have it available to him. Coming out of turn 5 towards turn 6. Ferrari Pro has not lost time to the top 2. He's keeping up. Through the S's. Roscoe, a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Down towards the arena section. Ferrari Pro is within a second. He got a bit of DRS help as well. Down that straightaway. Around the hairpin. So the train for third has joined the 2-car battle for first place. It's well and truly on here in Mexico. It's now lap 31. We've got 6 laps to go. Karma has gone into pit lane. Damage perhaps for the McLaren driver. Yep, front wing change. That ends a really solid day. 40, half a second behind. He's probably going to try and play a long game here with Crichton. Try and save up as much battery as possible. And wait for a last lap dash to try and get by. Down towards the S's. Ferrari Pro very much keeping up. He's not losing time to the top 2. He is in this. It's a pity though that these cars in this train have pens. Also notice as well, Roscoe is now 2.2 seconds behind Spilly, and he's got Leo for Leo is a weirdo for company. Around the penultimate turn, around the final turn, Leo should be able to get by pretty easily. Ferrari Pro now half a second behind Ford. Ford closing in on Crichton, not by enough, and lo and behold, Leo has overtaken Roscoe. That's for P6 on track. Of course, penalties have something to say about that. Down towards the chicane of turns 4 and 5. The gap between the top 2 is 0.2 of a second. The gap between the top 3 is 1 second. It's very tight at the front. Around the hairpin of turn 6. Down towards the S's again. Right on board here. Get a bird's eye view, or rather a first person view of what's happening through this S section. Using all of the racetrack there. He actually pulled away from Zach just a little bit. Around turn 12, towards the hairpin of turn 13. Then through turns 14 and 15. Ford's lost time. He's now a second behind Crichton. Does he have DRS? That is the question. Does he have it? Yes. He's also got a whole heap of battery. 70-odd% next to his name. Yeah, that's Crichton. He's got 20. Ferrari Pro's got 14. 8% is G for Zach. High 20s for Spilly. 10% for Leo, who's got another penalty. So the battle well and truly on between the top 2. Got 4 laps to sort this out. Around turn 5, towards the hairpin of turn 6. Now down towards the S's. Crichton, Ford, Ferrari Pro, Zach, Spilly. That's the top 5. Around turn 10, then 11. You can see 40, not tempting fate, trying to abuse those track limits. Staying well within those white lines, and Ferrari Pro is right there. So Crichton's got support. He has Mercedes backup. exiting the final corner, heading down the main straightaway. We now got 3 laps to go. Lap 34 of 36 has begun. And the main straight. Bit of weaving going on. Trying to break the toe. Spilly trying to look down the inside of G4 Zach here. Into turn 1, he's into 4th. Through turn 2, then 3. And down the straightaway towards turn 4. Ford close. Doesn't go for the attack. Ferrari Pro stays behind as well. Around turn 5. Towards 6. And Plevs, he has closed in to within 2 seconds of Leo, who was also on the back of this train. So he's going to join the party very soon. In fact, he might join it at the beginning of the next lap. Oh, Leo's close to Zach. These medium tyres, they won't be feeling too good. You see the amount of laps everyone has done on them. Now Leo's in the prime position on those hard tyres. But the only problem is he's got 15 seconds worth of penalties. So the next best car in terms of tyre wear will be Plebs in the McLaren in 7th. We might see a late race charge from that McLaren driver. Here comes 40. Looking down the inside into turn 1 with 2 laps to go. Crichton fights around the outside into turn 2. Then turn 3, 40 gets the nose in front, Crichton's run wide, and here comes Ferrari Pro on the attack. It might be 3 wide here, heading down the straightaway towards turn 4. 40 has the car in front, into the left-hander. It's a battle between the 2 Benzers now as they go around turn 5. Crichton gets back in front and again running wide into turn 6. The 2 Mercedes do not want to give in. Ferrari Pro gets the nose in front as they go into turn 7. Ferrari Pro is well and truly in front now. He's into 2nd. This is 40's opportunity to try and pull away from Crichton. He's got 6/10 to the Mercedes driver. He was awfully sideways at the exit of turn 11. Down towards turn 12. Plebs has moved now into 5th place. Oh, it's G4 Zach was there. Oh my goodness me! Spelly hard into the wall. I think it was lag punted by G4 Zach. I think. He was teleported into the barrier at nearly 1,000,000 miles an hour. Somehow he's still in the race. And Spilly gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Here we go, the final lap. Lap 36 of 36. Crichton under a fair bit of pressure. Ferrari Pro trying to attack for the race lead into turn 2. Ford keeps the car in front. Now heading down towards turn 4. Plebs trying to get through now. Drawing alongside. Banana bringing out yellow flags. He has to try and fight around the long way, Plebs. He keeps the car there. He has the inside line for turn 5. Crichton keeps fighting around the outside into the hairpin of turn 6. Plebs gets in front. He's now into 3rd, which is provisional 2nd with the time penalties. Leo now getting by. Around the outside, he takes 4th. As Spilly retires, crashing out at the hairpin of turn 6. It's a tight battle towards the front of the field. We only have a few corners left. Ferrari Pro, will he go for it? No, is the answer. Plebs is close. Will he send it here into the hairpin? He has to. He goes for it. For 2nd place, the confetti flies as the leaders make their way out of the arena for the final time. Can Plebs do it? He's on the back of the Williams. Around the final corner we go. It's not enough for Plebs. G-Force Ford wins the Mexican Grand Prix by a very small margin of just under 0.2 of a second. And Ferrari Pro ends up taking 3rd. Crichton, he got a puncture in the final sector. He got a puncture. He finishes in 5th. Ooh. There we are. The end to a long, interesting race. 40 hangs on by the skin of his teeth after Plebs making a brilliant late race charge to finish in 2nd place. Driver of the day is awarded to Plebs for his performance tonight. Now the podium celebrations. There's a great battle to watch at the front of the field between Fordy and Crichton. And at the end of the race, it is Ford who is victorious for Williams. Plebs, our driver of the day, finishes second. And reserve driver F1 Ferrari Pro, driving for Mercedes, finishes third. Well, the unofficial results of this Mexican Grand Prix. Fordy wins by just under 0.2 of a second to Plebs. After starting from 10th, he ends up finishing second, our driver of the day. Completing the podium places, we have F1 Ferrari Pro in the Mercedes-Benz. G-Force Zach finishes in 4th place, followed by G-Force Crichton after getting a puncture on the last lap. He was robbed of the podium places, so he has to settle for a top 5 finish. Roscoe in P6, followed by Leo Zawido, then Grimmy P8, Karma in 9th, Waldboy in 10th, Banana in 11th, and Bags Liddell. Spilly has been classified down in 13th place, but he retired at the hairpin here at turn 6. And Gilles, our only DNF of the race, crashing out at the final corner, bringing out that race-changing safety car. Well, we'll get to the showroom and we'll do some interviews. I'm sure a few drivers will like to talk about what happened tonight. It was very competitive, I have to say. And I honestly didn't think Plebs was able to come back after making that second stop. He lost a fair bit of time in that stop. But those soft tyres, man, they were quick. And he made full use of them. And he almost took the win. It was close, very close. But we'll invite the top 3 in. I'll be back in just a few moments. Ferrari Pro, Ford, and Plebs. Hello, Ford. Hello. Congrats again. I'd imagine. Oh, see what the other two are up to. They want to. I imagine Plebs and Ferrari Pro would like to join. Particularly Plebs. He came back from 7th to 2nd on those final 2 laps. So, oh, but no, that's the second race in Mexico. 40. You've won by not much.
And same bloke, isn't it?
Same bloke. Hello, Plebs.
G'day.
Hello, Ferrari Pro.
Hello.
All right.
I think my name's Mercedes Pro right
Mercedes Pro. Or Sir Lewis Hamilton, shall we go with that?
Actually, yeah, I'll take them.
All right, we'll go with Sir Lewis Hamilton. So, we have the top 3 in. We'll go from 3rd, and we'll make our way up to the top. So we're starting with Sir Lewis Hamilton. Now, Sir Lewis, how was that race for you in Mexico? You had a pretty nice battle throughout most of that race, fighting for, I think it was 4th place for the most part. Then it changed to 3rd towards the end.
Wait, it's my... Give me a sec.
You're good.
Just a bit sweaty, that's all. Yeah, the race is pretty good actually. We were mainly just holding like our positions, and that we didn't really want to pass much, but I knew I had a lot more pace at the end of the race to like try have a go at Crichton and Ford.
Yep.
So I did. I got Crichton, but I think he got a puncture. On the last couple of corners. Yep. Didn't have quite enough battery to get Ford, and I wouldn't have won the race anyway from 32nd. But it was a good race. The mediums held up well for me actually.
But
I enjoyed it.
How was qualifying as well for you?
Well, the first words I thought when I went on like the first corner of the Merc, because I only drive a Ferrari like in any game mode.
Yeah.
The first like words I ever did with the Merc was just, "Wow, this car feels brilliant." I don't know. It just like, I know it's all on equal performance, but it just feels so nice, that Merc.
Mm.
And yeah, P4 was it?
I believe it was. Can't remember.
P4. Yeah, it was good starting position, and yeah.
I don't know, how was that battle towards the end as well?
It was so fun, man. Like,
I imagine.
I don't imagine it would have been for a lot of others. Like, they just wanted to keep in a train, but I just knew I had to go for it. So
fair enough.
Yeah, it was a good fun race. It was nearly like, felt like a bit of a NASCAR / go kart. Just
wait till the last lap, then go for it.
Yeah. It's cool.
But no, that was a really nice effort from you tonight. Kept up in the top 5 pretty much all the way through the race, and then those medium tyres, you kept them in check right at the end. I noticed with 40 and Crichton, they didn't look too great on those tyres. They started to lose time, so you made the most of it and ended up finishing in 3rd place. Now, next week we have the season finale over at Yas Marina Circuit. You think you'll be competing next week for Tier 1?
Yeah, I'll see. I'll see how I go. I'll probably come back. Hopefully, maybe the Merc again, but
give it a go.
Fiery hours back. He can have his car, of course, but I don't know. I'll definitely come back with that Merc open. Mate. Holy crap, that's awesome. I love that car.
And general feelings about Yas Marina?
Yeah, it's a good track. I think I mentioned in the lead that I've never done a league race around there, so it's going to be a new adventure. But I'm sure just a couple practices in Grand Prix mode, I'll get the hang of it easily.
Well, if you turn up next week, best of luck. But for now, thank you for stepping in and congrats on your P3 finish.
Thanks, Lane.
We'll move on to P2, and a P2 by only 0.2 of a second. Did this one hurt more, finishing second, when you're right behind the race leader? Did this one just sting a bit?
Not really. I didn't expect to get to P2, to be honest, on the last lap.
I mean, you did an awesome job right at the end to go from 7th to 2nd in 2 laps. So
yeah, I think starting last lap I was 4th, and yeah, I didn't see how I was going to get past those guys in the train, but it was just all about car positioning to try and use the grip. Like, I could even go around the outside of people. So yeah, it was that much of a delta kind of thing. So yeah, and got as close as I could to Bailey, and he actually had did what he should do, and parked on the apex and got a good run. I couldn't do much. I was trying to hang on to the grip. I didn't have a lot left by then anyway.
Should have turned, and Bailey would understand.
I thought I was on the best. I thought I was on the best strategy, but I just couldn't get past Zach and Bailey quick enough in my second stint.
But qualifying P10, how did that go for you?
I wanted to qualify on the mediums. I did have a soft run at the end, but I nearly died in the S's, so I kind of boarded and I was kind of happy with P10 on the mediums, to be honest. Like, I knew like after a few laps it'd be pretty even with the tyres, and I wanted to do medium soft because I think that's the strat around Mexico.
Well, you almost pulled it off with this race, and you also had quite a nice battle with 40 and Zach as well at the mid part of that race. That was interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Was that fun on your end?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're very hard to get past. Battling and compromise each other on exit of turn 3, and I snuck up the inside and got both of them.
That was I caught that. That was pretty nice.
But then they were able to keep and then I was just towing Bailey and DRS for a while. I could pull out 6/10 or something, and then it had all come back, and he would pass me at the end of the straight, because DRS is so powerful. And I thought about going a bit longer and hoping for a safety car, but I thought, no, I'll just just do the strat and
get
commit
in,
to it and
send it.
That's what I did. So yeah, and then just putting in the laps in the last stint, just kind of quali lap after quali lap kind of thing, to try and catch people. And I caught people at pretty good times, I think, like to overtake. Didn't really get held up too badly, and I was able to catch up and then make up all the positions in the last few laps. So yeah, I'm happy with P2. I think Bailey had a great race and probably deserves the win. I don't know if Zach got a penalty, puncture at the end or something.
He did get a puncture.
Yeah, they were all pretty slow.
Yeah,
those tires must have been pretty cooked.
Yeah, they were bad.
But yeah, it's crazy how Bailey and I have been so close at Mexico in the 3 races we've had this season.
It's completely different strategies and things like that as well.
Yeah.
And it's resulting in 3 very tight finishes between you two. So
yeah.
No, it's really cool to see. But next week, Mr. Race Spec, we have our season finale at Yes Marina. Looking forward to the season finale, and how do you think you're going to go?
Yeah, I haven't done. We didn't do Abu Dhabi last season, so I don't think I've done a league race. Oh, maybe we did endurance at some stage. I can't remember, but I don't think I've done a 50%. So I think it's always one where you can kind of, a bit like Mexico, do a couple of different strategies.
Yeah.
Although I think maybe it's probably just soft medium. I'm not sure. Seems like every
track is usually soft medium. Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually good for racing. I think it's got a bit of a bad reputation.
In real life, yeah.
Yeah, I find it fun on the game for sure. Like, and it's the last time we'll race on this layout as well. With the chicane, the first end of the first sector.
Yep.
And
beginning of the third.
That's right. Yeah, I love that little section. Actually, it's really cool.
They simplified it, make it into 2 sweepers essentially. At both of those ends of the racetrack. So, nice little send-off then for Abu Dhabi as well, as we move on to the new era with F1.
Yeah, that's right. But hopefully get some more drivers. Only 14 tonight was a bit...
Oh, well, even with...
was it 15? I can't remember.
No, it was 14. 14, yeah. But even with the...
Banana.
Yeah, thanks to him racing with us, because he had trouble getting back into his Tier 2 lobby, so he was here in Tier 1. And he got all the way through, so credit to him. Good. But no, congratulations on your performance tonight, players. Congrats on the P2.
Cheers.
Move on to our race winner, 40. That was a very nice drive from you. Last minute pole. I mean, you left it pretty late, and you didn't get it by much either.
It was pretty close, yeah. I did want to keep an extra set of softs for the race. I only did 2 runs on the softs, so yeah. Unfortunately validated that first run, which was a bit frustrating, and then the second one, I was about 2 tenths slower in sector 1, but that kind of made up for it in the middle and last sector again. So I reckon probably could have hit a 13.9, but a 14.1 was still a pretty good lap under pressure.
Absolutely, like in the dying minutes of qualifying to pull that out, and then Crichton retired a few moments later, so he couldn't challenge that. So you got to start on pole position, and if I remember, did you get a good start? Oh goodness.
Yeah, I did. Zach sent it to me down the inside at turn 1, pretty late. But yeah.
Very Zach, isn't it?
Plainly. But yeah, no, I did have a pretty good start, fortunately. So yeah, it was kind of just... I was trying to pull away from the pack behind for the first stint, but I think Zach wanted to keep with Darius train, and then Darius train, and then when we noticed that Matt was coming through on the alternate straight, it was kind of like, okay, work together a bit now. We got bigger issues.
But no, you two actually had quite a nice scrap throughout several points of that race, changing places, particularly at turn 1.
Yeah, but, it was what we needed to do. Yeah.
Try and pull away from the rest of the pack. But you two pitted during that... well, you pitted before the safety car came out. I think a lap before the safety car came out. I think.
1 or 2, something like that.
Yeah.
So kind of, yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to jump them or not. Thankfully, I did just. I pretty much rode my Delta the entire way. I was, I think under it by like a couple tenths. Then had to brake once I got in front of Zach to let it catch back up. So yeah.
Fair enough.
It was very close, but I definitely needed to do it.
And then you proceeded to do 20 odd laps on those medium tyres, and they look pretty bad from my point of view, but how was it in the cockpit?
Yeah, they were bad. We were pushing a lot at the start. To obviously, like, when Matt was behind us and stuff, we really couldn't let him go. Otherwise, he definitely would have won this race. So yeah, Zach and myself pretty much defended, I think, really well to make sure he stayed behind us, or at least, we stayed with him. And then I guess towards the end of the race, that kind of showed it had its effect on our tyres. And yeah, it was I think 84% at the end. So I got lucky on like Bahrain.
Yeah.
Bahrain, I hit 75 and off they went. So yeah, maybe it's a bit of luck coming back.
Yeah, some nice karma going back your way.
Exactly.
After what happened earlier. But season finale next week over in Abu Dhabi. How do you think you're going to fare?
Yeah, I think I spoke to you about this in Elite Series.
I think all three of you did.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but it's been a while since it last happened, so have to see how it goes. Pretty important race. I'm 7 points behind Spilly for second place in the championship, so
it's on.
I think it's pretty. Yeah, it's definitely on.
7 points. Winner gets 30, second gets 23. So yeah.
Yeah,
it's
exactly. So it's just try to win the race, I guess. I think it was unfortunate. I got that. I don't know if you saw the stewards briefings. I got 15 seconds for that incident at Saudi Arabia with Tinselman, so that dropped me down from ninth to ninth from third. So
right,
kind of put a bit of pressure back on.
When did they do those?
Yesterday, I think it was.
Yesterday.
Or today.
Ages ago. Yeah, righto.
Yeah. So thankfully, good result here tonight. Kind of eases a little bit of pressure for next week, but still, important race.
You really got 15 seconds for that incident.
15.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, well, best of luck for your next race over in Abu Dhabi. But congratulations on taking the win here tonight for the Mexican Grand Prix.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
And I think with everything said and done, we can finally wrap up another stream. An interesting race with only 14 cars. It's something that I've always believed in. There's field size doesn't really dictate race quality, and I think this sort of demonstrates that tonight. The 14 cars, we had pretty nice battle towards the front. We had some nice battling in the midfield as well that kept us entertained. And in the end, we got a really tight finish, and we all love to see that. But with the race and the interviews finally over, it's time for us to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week as there's still plenty of racing to come here on Race Spec Esports, but for Pacific Tier 1, we'll have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 15, the final round of the championship at Yas Marina Circuit for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Goodbye.